Hello. In this video, we are going to discuss the basics of accounting and the journal entry part and all. Okay, so let us start without wasting much time. First of all, before moving towards accounting and the need for preparing accounts and all that, let us discuss why we maintain accounts. Right? बहुत सारी ऐसी चीजें हैं for that we prepare accounts. Like I have listed out few what you can say purpose for which we actually prepare accounts. Like if you check here, communication to stakeholders. स्टेक मतलब कि जो भी आपके इन्वेस्टर्स हैं जिनका इंटरेस्ट है आपकी कंपनी में, दोज हु एक्चुअली वांट टू नो दैट वेदर company is doing good or not, or what are the financial statements, or what is the financial positions and all that, right? They want to take the decision whether to hold the stake in that, whether to invest in that company or not, whether to lend money to that company or not, right? Like for pay taxes, it's obvious reason we cannot remember all the information or all the activities of the business, right, that is keeping taking place on a daily basis. If I ask you a question, how much money you spent yesterday, you don't know, right? Okay, tell me before 6 months how much money your father has given to you, you don't remember, right? So it's very difficult for a human being to remember all the transaction in detail. So for that we maintain records, right? And obviously in India we are paying lot and lot of amount of taxes, right? Be it income tax, GST, whatever. So for that we need to maintain records, right? And that record is kept in the form of accounts. So one purpose is what? It helps us in paying taxes. Imagine I'm not maintaining my books of account. I do not keep a track of my income. Okay, जो पैसा आया उड़ाओ, invest करो, मौज करो, ठीक है. But then at the end, government of India, right? My finance minister is asking me, sir, how much did you earn based on that kindly pay tax? And I said, I don't know. Please maintain your books of account, right? Legal requirement. One of the legal requirement is also there as per Indian Income Tax Act. Okay, income tax, whatever year, right, you are furnishing your income tax return, income tax authorities, which we call as assessing officer, they have the right to call your books of account or the accounts that you have maintained for last 8 years. ये इनकम टैक्स में रिक्वायरमेंट है. सो वॉट एवर बुक्स, लाइक आज ये अकाउंट मेंटेन किया, ईयर ओवर, लेट्स थ्रो इट आउट. नो, एटलीस्ट यू हैव टू प्रिजर्व इट फॉर 8 years. आप ये नहीं बोल सकते कि सर वो तो पुराने अकाउंट्स थे एंड आई हैव जस्ट डिलीटेड इट, ओके, आई हैव थ्रोन इट आउट. नो, you have to maintain it for at least 8 years. And if your case is taken for scrutiny assessment, not only for that accounting year, but if assessing officer or the assessing authorities, if they want, they can ask you to produce the accounts, or you can say the books of account for the previous 8 years. They have the requirement, right? They have the authority. So to know the financial position and performance, it's quite obvious. We all know that we prepare profit and loss account, balance sheet, right? Why we prepare profit and loss account? To find out the performance of the business. कि भाई कितना profit हुआ, loss हुआ, right? All this thing. And position. Balance sheet is a position statement. From balance sheet, you can figure it out that how much asset is company is having, against that how many liabilities are there, out of the assets, how much it is in the fixed form, right? How much is in the your what you can say current asset form, right? So that also we needed. Record transaction, as I told you, you cannot remember all the transactions, right? So for the purpose of recording all the transaction, we maintain books of account. Cash flow statement. Now cash flow statement is one of the very important financial statement. Okay, in companies it's mandatory to prepare it, and it will tell you that from which all sources you are generating cash, from which all sources you are generating cash. Now I'll give you one more example. Imagine that I am having a uh, own practice. I'm working as a chartered accountant. I'm doing auditing. I'm filing returns and all that, right? I'm also fighting appeals with the income tax department and all that. Correct? GS returns I'm filing. Plus, I'm also taking classes. Over and above that, I'm also having the what you can say stock market activities. I purchase shares, sell it. Now during the year, right, if I ask you that, if anyone asks me, sir kitna paisa kamaya, said this year my wealth increased by 20 lakh rupees. Oh, very good, sir. So that means your practice work and coaching classes and all that is going very good. Said no. From practice, I have earned only 2 lakh rupees. From coaching, I have earned only 3 lakh rupees. But from stock market, I have earned 15 lakh rupees. It's a wish. I'm making losses only. But then you can bifurcate that how much income or how much cash is getting generated from your operating activity, how much cash is generating from what your investment activities, how much cash is generating from your finance activities, right? So if you do not maintain records, it's not possible to have this particular idea. Inter and intra firm comparison. Now, this is one of the thing that I like the most. Okay, inter firm comparison. What do you mean by interfirm comparison? Comparison between the two different firms, two different business entities for a same period. Like, imagine I have my colleague, co-faculty. Let us take one name, Sandeep sir. Okay. Now, last year, I and Sandeep sir, we both were sitting together. Okay. Let's say in the month of April or what, and we were discussing. Generally, we don't have this kind of discussion, but unfortunate time, right? We had this discussion. I asked Sandeep sir. Before I involved in this discussion, I was very happy. No? I thought like I'm earning very much, a decent amount. I asked Sandeep sir, how much was your pay last year? Sandeep sir is like 40 lakh rupees. And sir asked, what was your income, Sunil sir? I said like, leave it, no sir. I was earning 10 lakh rupees. Then I started comparing that same year, last year, Sandeep sir generated 40 lakh rupees and I only 10 lakh rupees. Not good, no. I'll go and fight with the management. What I have done? Inter-firm comparison. Two different entities and for the same period we compared. Okay. Intra-firm comparison. Intra-firm comparison is same entity but two different period. Like, take the same example. Okay, I went and I was fighting with the management. मैंने बोला sir, last year I earned 10 lakh rupees and Sandeep sir earned 40 lakh rupees. Not good, sir. Then management told that, sir, don't see like that. Okay, how much was your last to last year salary or last to last year your income? I was like 5 lakh. And this year you got how much? 10 lakh. See, it doubled. It doubled. What was the income of Sandeep sir last to last year? 38 lakh. This year, 40 lakh. See the increment, sir. We are valuing more, right? We are valuing you more than Sandeep sir. हमने आपका इनकम डबल कर दिया ना. I was smiling. अरे भाई का पैसा ज़्यादा हो गया. So when I am comparing, no doubt, the inter-firm comparison is also good. But intra-firm comparison is also required. Now all this is possible when I am having certain amount of records, right? If I do not maintain records, then imagine Sandeep sir se baat hua and he's like, sir, I have earned 40 lakh rupees and I went into depression. कि यार मेरा तो पैसा कम ही होगा. And Sandeep sir is like, तुमने कितना कमाया? I said, I'm not maintaining record. I am not maintaining record. Now when I started noting down everything, I was earning 45 lakh rupees. Like, good, no? Good. So maintaining record is necessary. Decision making. Now this is again one more thing, right? If you do not know your financial status, if you do not know your liabilities, if you do not know the kind of assets that you're holding, you will not be able to make decision. Now imagine I want to invest in a laptop. Laptop is my daily requirement, right? I'm using it for my teaching purpose. But the problem is I'm not able to decide whether to buy laptop worth rupees 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 or 1 lakh rupees because we have various range of laptops, correct? I want to invest or let's say I want to buy a house, whether I can afford it or not, right? I need to check it. If you do not maintain your books of account, if you do not maintain your accounts, then it's not possible. If you want to try once. Google में डाल के देखना ऐसे कि how much or can say what amount of investment I can afford for investing in a house. House affordability. So they will tell what is your in-hand income, right? Do you have any other commitments, other loan going or not? And then based on that, they will tell you that you can purchase house worth rupees 30 lakh, 40 lakh, 1 crore, or Google will tell, sorry, stay in a rented house. डोंट टेक एनी रिस्क. वो कब पता चलेगा? when you have certain basic information about yourself, your business, right? Let us imagine that I am thinking that whether to invest in a laptop, or it's a good laptop or not. Now, if you check, my online classes are increasing. Okay, I am having more and more of online work and rather than offline. Offline, they are not allowing me to use any devices. Okay, no laptop, nothing. You have to teach with a traditional method, chalk, board, or maybe let's say at the most markers and whiteboard. But online, laptop is inevitable tool. Correct? So when I saw that okay, my online classes work is increasing day by day, I should go for one good premium laptop. Correct. Similarly, let's say taking a decision from shifting from automatic, or let's say manual to semi-automatic, semi-automatic to what, fully automatic, what type of projections you have, how you are growing. Correct. अगर मुझे लोन भी लेना है तो कंपनी विल सी, or let's say bank will see what was your past 5 years, 7 years profit, what is the trend. Based on that you can take decisions, right? So there are many other reasons also. I have listed out only few. Okay, but there are many other reasons, right, for which you can have this can come as a theory question also, but it is a general question. Now the question comes where, what type of transaction I do record, कैसे record करना है, that's a different thing. First of all, which transaction I should record. So for that we can say, first of all, we need to identify a business transaction. See, there are two type of transaction. One is a personal transaction and one is a business transaction. Okay, so in the books of business, we record only and only business transactions. Now, what do you mean by business transaction? Transaction that affects business. Let me give you an example. Imagine I have 20,000 rupees. At least that much you can imagine, right? I can have. Okay. Now 20,000 I split in two parts. This 10,000 is for my personal use. This 10,000 I am introducing as a capital for my business. Okay. Now, if I spend anything from this, it will affect my personal books. If I use this 10,000, it will affect business. Okay. Now, imagine my daughter comes and asks me that, Dad, I need to buy something. Kindly give me 500 rupees. Now, this 10,000 is at home and she came to my office. Now, out of this 10,000, if I am giving 500 rupees to my daughter, whether it is a business transaction, technically no, but yes, for the purpose of accounting, yes, it is a business transaction because it is affecting my business asset. Okay, so I need to record it. Now, when I talk about business transaction, there can be two type of transaction that affects business, that will have impact on the business. One is monetary, one is non-monetary business transaction. Now, what do you mean by monetary transaction? Monetary transactions are the transactions that can be measured in money, right? That can be measured in money measurement concept, right? Only and only those transactions which can be covered in money measure, which can be what you can say measured in money terms, can be recorded. Non-monetary business transaction cannot be recorded in the books. Now, monetary, we have n number of examples. N number of examples. Loss by fire. Can you monitor it? That 3,000 rupees goods destroyed. Right here, let's say my walls or go down got damaged, and for that the loss is what, 7-8,000. Can you measure in terms of money? Yes. Advertisement, right? 3,000, 5,000. You're paying cash. Amortization, like goodwill, patent, and all that. You paid, let's say, 1 lakh rupees for that. You incurred 1 lakh rupees expenditure and you decided to spread over 5 years equally. Every year 20,000. Can you measure in terms of money? Yes. Depreciation. Now, see, many students they get confused here. That's a depre is a non-monetary. It's a non-cash. For depreciation, you are not paying cash. Okay, immediate, there is no cash outflow. But can you measure it? Yes. Depreciation is a measurement of loss in the value of depreciable asset. So yes, it is a monetary transaction. See, those who are getting confused, that sir, whether it is monetary or not, cash is not involved. Okay. Do you record credit purchase of goods? Answer is yes. Do you record goods sold on credit? Yes. Now, whether money is involved? No. money's worth is involved. Same is the logic behind depreciation. Depre is what? A part amount that you are charging in your profit and loss account, or you're adjusting against your current profit. Okay, so already the money is spent. Okay, here the money might be spent later or received later. So can you measure it? Yes, so we record it. Honorarium. What is honorarium? Honorarium is something like which you give with due respect. This generally happens in some housing societies, charitable trust, hospitals, and all that. I'll give you an example. I have a medical store, right? My family members, I'm coming from a business family, so we had a medical store, and in fact, it's still there. Now, I personally know some of the doctors who are having their private clinic, and they're also going to some backward areas and all that on a daily basis, or maybe let's say weekly once, and there they are giving service at a very cheap rate. I mean, if I talk about like before few years, I know a doctor personally who used to go to that clinic, and in 2 rupees, just in 2 rupees, he'll diagnose and he'll give medicine also for 2 days. Beyond 2 days, if medicines are to be required to be consumed, then you need to purchase it from outside, but he'll give 2 days medicine. Imagine 2 rupees, just 2 rupees. Now he was having certain, he was invited by some trust and all that, and trust was taking care of some of the expenditure. But maybe yearly once or what, they used to give them what, some 1100 rupees, right? Or 500 rupees, 501, something like that, just as a token of gratitude that thank you very much, sir, you came. Otherwise, this 500 rupees or 1100 rupees is actually peanuts for them. Maybe he'll just do consultation for 1 or 2 patients in his private clinic, and he'll make this much of our money, right? Possible. So, honorarium. One more example. In housing societies, we often find some secretary, one person who is taking care of the entire management of society. Like in nowadays, we have one very famous serial, TV serial, if you are knowing about it, Tarak Mehta Ka Ulta Chashma, which comes in Sony Sub. Now, in Sony Sub, the entire concept of the what you can say serial is they have one society, Gokul Dham, right, and where a different part of the country, right, the different religion and all that, they are staying, right. Many people, they are staying over there, and every day they have one or other problems. Okay, now in that particular serial, we have one character called Mr. Atmaram Tukaram Bhide, who is like a secretary of that particular society. Now, actually, he is not taking any money, right? Or he is not doing that particular job as a part of his career or profession. Okay. But he is just serving the society. He is working for the betterment of society. Now, imagine in one episode, if I don't know, but imagine everyone, that all the members decide that we need to give some remuneration to Mr. Bide. Let's say monthly 100 rupees. Now, it is what? It is not for, like, we are not insulting him, but it is out of our gratitude what we are giving, right? That is honorary. Free samples, can you imagine, measure in terms of money? Yes. Charity, yes. Loss by theft, yes. Bad debt, you can measure in terms of money. Goodwill, again, it's a non-monetary, maybe you're valuing goodwill, but it can be monetary, right? Sorry, it is non-cash. It's a monetary, but non-cash, because goodwill you can measure. Any fictitious asset. What do you mean a fictitious asset? The asset which do not have a realizable value, like advertisement suspense account. You have done a lot of advertisement, and you don't want to write off in 1 year. Then that is known as advertisement suspense account, right? So anything like that which you are spreading, any loss, any expenses you are spreading for more than 1 year, that unwritten off amount will be treated as what? Fictitious asset. Again, we can measure it. Yes, we can measure that loss. It is what? Your monetary transaction. Rebate, a kind of discount, any donation, copyright, patent discount. These are some of the examples. In short, for anything we are passing journal entry, that is a monetary transaction. But what about non-monetary business transaction? That we do not record in the books, right? It's not possible sometimes. Efficiency of management, right? Now we have two type of management, where one is very efficient. Now imagine that I am working with different institutes. Okay, I am working with different colleges and all, but one college I like a lot because there the management is very supportive, right? And they are not troubling faculties. Everything, the entire scheduling and management is very smooth. I like going there and working, but one management, maybe I'm getting the same pay, but I don't feel like going there. It's a compulsion because it's my source of income. But there I'm going, and there the management is not that efficient. Every now and then they forget to inform faculties about the class cancellation. You reach there and then you realize that, oh, mass bunking. I mean, no class is there, right? Then in that particular case, you can say you cannot record it, right? Right? You cannot record it. Honesty of employee. You cannot record it in your books. Employee leaving the job. Obviously, employee turnover ratio. Now, imagine there are two companies. I'm just giving an example. One is, let's say, Tata Group. One is Reliance Group. Okay, this is just an example. Imagine in Tata, people love to work. 2 to 3 generations they are working over there. Why? Because there, once the people are getting job, they treat it just like a government job. They are not firing employees. Imagine, I'm not giving you the facts. We are just taking the example. Ab मान लो, in Tata Group, the employees are very happy. Even though you are giving them 10-20% less pay, they love to work over there. Reliance, imagine, they are putting lot of pressure, and where the employee turnover ratio, labor turnover ratio is high. People every now and then, every 2 years or 1 year, you will find a new person on the job. Other person might be working some other company. So that is not good for the company. But can you record, can you identify from the balance sheet? No. These are the non-monetary business transaction. It affects the business. Surely it affects the business. But these are what? Non-monetary transaction which you cannot record. Okay. Imagine at a small level, I am working as a chartered accountant. Okay, I have my office. I'm a practicing chartered accountant. And I have one employee. Today, one employee will be taking care of all the returns and audit and all that. After 6 months, he's changed. So my client might have with a good repo, they might have built a repo with that person. Now he's gone. So again, they have to start working with a new person. What efficiency and let's say the method of working one person has, this person will have other method of working, dealing with people and all that. So it will affect the business, but I cannot record it. Okay. So in short, we record only and only monetary business transaction. So my step number one is always to identify the monetary business transaction for the purpose of recording. Now, imagine I have identified one transaction. Now the question is, how do I record it? There has to be some system of recording the transaction or maintaining books of account. Yes. So accounting records. Now we have two type of approach available. One is traditional approach and one is accounting equation approach. Okay, you can use any of these two. Accounting equation approach is also known as modern equation approach. Okay, but no doubt it is modern, but it is having a limited implication also. So majority places you check, we are using traditional approach only. Okay, now for the purpose of recording any transaction, for the purpose of recording any transaction, as per traditional approach, we bifurcate this into three part: real, nominal, or personal. So whatever accounts are involved in that, we bifurcate it into three categories. It can be either real accounts, it can be nominal account, it can be personal account. As per accounting equation approach, we divide all the accounts into five categories: assets, liabilities, capital, expense, and income, or you can say revenue. Okay, right now I'm not dealing with or discussing accounting equation approach. That we can do it in a later part, but right now I'm focusing on traditional approach: real, personal, nominal. Now, when you identify a transaction, as per traditional approach, it will have a minimum two type of ledger, two type of account. Okay, and which category I should put those two accounts? It can be real. Real at account involves all tangible, intangible assets account. Okay, it can be cash, your investment, your plant machinery, right? All these are real account. Nominal, all income and expense account are categorized in this category, like your salary or your purchase, sales, or your advertisement, right? Your bad debts, income, or sorry, commission, rent, discount, right? Or your go down rent, stationery, traveling, conveyance, bank charges, all these are covered in nominal. Personal. Personal, we have three subcategories: natural person, artificial, and a representative person. Natural person, your account, my account, Sunil, Ravi, Anil, like that. Artificial, that A and company, B and company, partnership firm, right? A limited, B limited. Representative personal, which represents either any outstanding or let's say advance, expense or income, or it represents a group of person. Okay, like representative personal, you take any nominal account, and before that if you add any outstanding, accrued, or after that you add advance or prepaid, payable, then it becomes personal, representative personal. Like salary, salary is nominal, but if I write outstanding salary, it becomes a representative personal. Okay, if I write salary payable, representative personal. Prepaid salary, representative personal. Salary paid in advance, representative personal. Same is the case with income. Say for example, interest income. I have made investment on that interest I'm getting, so it's income. Now interest is a nominal account, but outstanding income, outstanding interest, representative personal. Or you can say interest received in advance, representative personal. Accrued interest, representative personal. Now, so right now we are focusing on this traditional approach. So again, I'm repeating, your step number one is to find out the monetary business transaction. Then it's up to you. You select in your business whether you want to go with traditional approach or accounting equation approach. We go with traditional approach. Now for traditional approach, we need to bifurcate account in these three categories. Okay. Now once we are done with that, now it comes for the recording part. How do I record it? Now for the purpose of recording, now here we have some rules. For real, we have two aspects here: debit and credit. Okay, so what account we debit? Debit what comes in for real, credit what goes out. Say for example, one account, let's say cash. Now if cash is coming in, maybe for sales, or maybe let us say it is for your receipt from debtors, or maybe it is from sale of your machinery or capital introduced, right? Anything. Cash is coming in business, debit it. Cash is going out, you're making payment for your rent, salary, commission, cash is going out. Nominal, all expense and losses we debit, and all income and gains we credit. All expenses like salary, bank charge, advertisement, all expenses, bad debt, we debit. Or commission income, rent income, discount income, if these are income, we credit it. For personal, debit the receiver, credit the giver. Say for example, I'm receiving money from my debtor. Debtor is what? Giver. Personal, yes, we'll credit it. Debit the receiver. If I'm making payment to my supplier, I'll debit it. Now once you are fine, or once you know that which account to be debited, which account to be credited, then here comes the format. This format is format of journal. Okay, and in that we pass a journal entry. Now if you have a look, this format is having 5 columns. First column, date, particulars, LF, debit and credit. Now date column, we record the date of transaction. Let us say today, if I'm giving some cash to you, imagine today's date is 1st January 2024 or 1st January. Okay, so I'll write 1st January 2024. Here we write the date of transaction. Then particular. Now you have already find out that in one particular transaction, which all accounts are involved. Okay, so here we pass that particular entry, debit or credit. Okay, so imagine that you are receiving money. You are receiving money from Mr. A. So what entry we pass? What we are getting? Cash. And other party is Mr. A. So here it is real and personal, that combo. Okay, so I'll write here. I will write here cash account, and then we write this short form DR. It stands for debit, not debtor. Many people, they call it as a debtor. It's not debtor, it's debit. Then cash account debit, credit the giver. Let's say Mr. A. Here no need to write credit. Okay, only for debit we write the short form. Then here against debit we write the amount debited against credit, we write the amount credit. So in short, debit credit total is always tally, right? It has to tally. Otherwise, your answer is wrong. Okay. Then this column, LF, this particular column is known as ledger folio column. Now, ledger folio column, right, is filled at the time when entry is posted. So try to imagine two notebooks. One notebook, you're recording daily transaction. And then one notebook where you are recording all the summary. Okay, because imagine with me, during the month, you had 5 transactions. Now, when I ask you, what is the net impact of that? Do I need to pay you or whether you owe me something? I need to know. Then will you be able to go through the entire month journal entries? It will be like in hundreds. You cannot do it. So for that purpose, we record all the entries into ledger, right? So that is known as posting. Always remember, this kind of true false or fill in the blanks question can come in your exam. Ledger folio column we fill at the time of posting. So out of 5 columns in journal, while recording the journal entry, we only record only 4. Okay, only 4 columns. Ledger folio column, in that we will fill at the time of posting. Now how it will be? Imagine in that book, I have cash account at page number, let's say 7, and bank account at, mystery account at page number 20. So here I'll write page number 7, page number 20, right? So if this effect, where it is posted, if I want to know, I'll go to the other book. In that, I'll just go to page number 7 and I will find out the impact. What is the second effect? To Mr. A account. Okay. So whether it is posted in A account or not, if I want to know, I'll simply go to what? A's account, page number 20. That will help me, right? If I am just looking for cross verification. No. Is it done? No. Here we have something called narration. Narration. And generally it starts with being. Now, what do you mean by narration? What do you mean by narration? It's a brief description about the transaction. It's a brief description about the transaction. Okay, let us say here I can write cash received from A, or I can write rupees 5,000 received from A, or you can write rupees 5,000 received from A in cash, something like that. There is no standard format for that you have to mention all this information. But when anyone is just reading this journal entry and they want to know that what this transaction is all about, narration can help you. Okay, now this narration, actually we all don't like to write much, but in practical life, if any of one of you is in future going for some articleship, or you are having your own business consultancy, right, and you are giving consultancy to any firm, please give training to the accountant to write this. Or if you yourself start writing accounts of, let's say, Indian company or foreign companies and all that, please always make habit of writing this. This will save you from lot of disasters. How? I'll share my personal experience with you guys. When I was doing my articleship, okay, so the audit season time, one of our client, he came and he was complaining that he was not able to pass journal entry for depreciation. I was like, why? I was senior at that time, so I asked my junior articles that please, you just sort it out, and they are not able to do it. Like, now let me handle the case. Which entry you're not able to pass? They're like, so depreciation. Okay, let us pass entry. Depreciation account debit 2. Which asset you want to depreciate? Is like car. The moment I started typing car, the software showed an error message that there is no such account in the books. I was like, boss, have you purchased car or not? He said, yes. I said, then? He said, I came in that, Sunil. I said, oh, then why you're not able to pass journal entry? He said, I don't know. Then I asked, have you purchased it from black income? Not recorded. He said, no, I have made payment with check. I said, oh, is there any other thing? Yes, I'm also having losses. I said, what, bro? Losses. Business is like Karan Johar movie. Huh? Kabhi khushi, kabhi gum. Profit kabhi zyada, kabhi kam. You may have losses. Right? Like, no, but I am a registered dealer and I'm a wholesaler. I have a very fixed margin, so I cannot have gross loss. Net loss I can have because of the indirect expenses, but I'm having gross loss. So okay, second error. Let us find it out. Now I asked him, that do you know the around approx price that you have paid for this particular car? And he said, yes, sir, some 20 lakh plus. Right? I said, okay. So then I started scrutinizing his bank account with the figures of 20 lakh. And there were like some plenty of the amount entries. And then I checked. One particular entry, when I clicked, the entry was purchase account debit to bank, but the narration was written being check issued from HDFC Bank, check number so and so Motors for purchasing his car. For purchasing car. I was like, here. What is this? Huh? You purchase car? He said, yes. I recorded. I said, bro, you cannot record it in purchase account. He's like, I purchase goods, no. So I debit purchase account. I purchase car. Purchase. Said, no, there is a concept called capital and revenue. You should have gone to school or hire a good accountant. Don't save money. Correct? But then I explained him that it's a capital asset. You need to capitalize. And the moment we pass journal entry or rectification entry, car account debit to purchase, car started showing in balance sheet. Not only that, the purchase came down and immediately the trading account started showing profit. See, one rectification, two error solved. So narration is actually required. Okay, now the entire process of recording this transaction into the book of journal entry is known as journalizing. One more thing that you should know is the book of journal is also known as book of original entry. Why original entry? Because the transaction is originated in this particular book. Okay, that's why it is known as book of original entry. Okay, so you have to be very careful. All these points are written over here. Okay, the process of recording journal is known as journalizing, and we record 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 column, right? And this one, column number 3 is filled at the time of posting. Okay, so I hope you have understood this, and now let us start with the questions. So now let us start with questions on journal entries. So here I have pasted the question for the ready reference and drawn the format. So if you have not drawn the format, please format draw kar lijiye, and you can pause the video, and then now we can start. Okay, so first here journalize the following transaction in the books of Sri Ganesh. Okay, so when we are doing this, here I'll give heading in the books of Sri Ganesh. Okay, we can give heading in the books of Sri Ganesh. Okay, now first transaction 2018, year can be anything. May 1st, Sri Ganesh started his business with cash. Okay, so he is introducing cash in the business. उसके पास कुछ जमा किया हुआ कैश है, तो क्या होगा बिजनेस में? कैश इज कमिंग इन. ओके, यहाँ पे दो अकाउंट है, वन इज कैश, वन इज कैपिटल. नाउ ऑलवेज रिमेंबर, आप श्री गणेश की बुक में श्री गणेश का अकाउंट नहीं बना सकते. ओके, सो उसको रिप्रेजेंट करने के लिए विल हैव टू अकाउंट्स. वन इज अ कैपिटल अकाउंट, other is a drawing account which represents Sri Ganesh. Okay, so what is the nature of capital and drawing account? Capital and drawing both are in the nature of personal, and to be specific, these are representative personal. Okay, now so two accounts. First, cash is real account. Cash is coming in the business, so cash account debit. Who is giving cash? Sri Ganesh, but we are representing Sri Ganesh with capital. So in case the business is giving, or let's say in case the proprietor is giving something, we use capital. And in case the proprietor is withdrawing something from the business, we use drawing account. And at the end of the year, drawing account we transfer to capital. Okay, so first cash is coming in, and who is contributing? Sri Ganesh. So we'll write here. Now here date, there are various methods of writing date. Okay, some people will write 1/5/18, or some can write like here 2018 and 1st May, or I prefer 2018 May 1st. Why I'm doing like this? Because if you observe the entire question, May month is common. Okay, May month is common. Okay, till 31st we have transaction. Okay, so now instead of writing again and again 1/5/25 and like, I'll just keep May constant, and 1/2/5 whatever dates are there I'll write. It may save some fraction of seconds, but can do it, right? But choice is yours. You can write multiple way. You can write here like 2018 1/5 and then 152535 like that, or every time you can write 1518 3518 like that also you can do it. I prefer like this, and you will not lose mark because of the format of this date column. Okay, so if we pass journal entry, what will be the journal entry? Cash account debit to capital account. What will be the amount? Rupees 50,000. Okay. Here generally we write narration, but I'm avoiding narration just for the purpose of saving time. Narration can be what? Being capital introduced in cash, or you can write being capital introduced. Okay. Then second, purchase goods. अब यहाँ पे हमको देखना पड़ेगा whether it is a cash transaction or a credit transaction. आप goods कैसे भी purchase कर सकते हो. You can purchase for cash, you can purchase for credit. ठीक है. Credit मतलब अभी लो बाद में पैसा दो. Right. So purchase goods. Now here, whether any specific information is given with respect to cash or credit, then the answer is no. They have not told it. Okay. So step to identify whether the transaction is cash or credit. Step number 1, check specific word, cash or credit. If it is given, then we'll go ahead like that. If not, then check question number 2, whether any name of party is given. Purchase from Raj, purchase from A Limited, purchase from AB Enterprise, something like that. No. If name is not given, then it is a cash transaction. If name is given, then it is a credit transaction, right? So first, cash or credit is given? No. Then party name is given? If yes, then it is what? A credit transaction. If no, then it is a cash transaction. Now here, name of party is also not given. So by default, this will be a cash transaction. This will be a cash transaction. क्या journal entry होगा? When you purchase goods, goods are coming in, or you can say purchase is an expenditure. All expense we debit. What is going out? Cash. So purchase account debit to cash account. So number 2, we can write here purchase account debit to cash account, and the amount is 5,000 rupees. Narration क्या लिखोगे आप? Being goods purchase for cash, or being goods purchase for cash, rupees 5,000. Okay, so we can write it like that. अब और क्या है भाई आगे? Purchase goods for cash. See, the cash word is given. Now when the cash word is given, we don't have to think, it's a cash transaction. So just like this, similar entry will come. क्या entry आएगा भाई? Purchase account debit to cash. Amount is 10,000. Okay. ठीक है. फिर they have given purchase goods from Mr. Sun for cash. Oh, see, here name of party is given as well as word cash is given. If cash word is given, name of party is relevant. गांधी बापू के आगे और कुछ नहीं. Once cash is given, whether it is purchased from sun, moon, from entire universe, we don't care. So directly 15,000. Same to same journal entry will come. Purchase account debit to cash 15,000. Purchase account debit to cash account. Now here the question may arise that, sir, can we club all these 3 entry? Answer is no. The reason is the transactions are happening on a different date, so it's advisable you write a separate entry. Okay. Then sold goods, again, whether cash or credit word is given? No. Then step number 2, party name is given? No. Then it's a cash transaction, 6,000. So for that we will write here next entry. 5th one, cash account debit to sales account, amount 6,000. Okay, cash to sales because cash is coming in the business and it is my income. Sale is my income. So we credit all the income and gain. अच्छा, यहाँ पे narration लिखना होगा तो क्या लिखेंगे? Being goods sold for cash. Super. Now, goods sold for cash. Yes, 12,000. Same to same entry we will write. 6-1. Cash account debit. 2. Sales account. Amount 12,000. Okay. Same narration will come. Goods sold to Mr. Sky for cash. देखा sky हो, land हो, tree हो, फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Right? We are selling goods for what? Cash 18,000. Same entry. Date 8th. Cash account debit to sales account. Amount is 18,000. Okay. Then what next? Purchase goods from Mr. Moon. Now again, whether cash or credit word is given, answer is no. Then we have to check whether name of party is given, Moon. Yes. Then it's a credit transaction. Then it's a credit transaction. So what entry we will pass? Purchase is an expenditure and credit the giver. Mr. Moon is a person. So credit the giver. Entry will be 9th of here, 9th date. Purchase account debit to Moon account, or you can write Mr. Moon account, right? Doesn't make much difference. What is the amount? 10K. Yeah. Okay. Then purchase goods from Mr. Star on credit. See, here they have used specific word, credit. Then obviously it's a credit transaction, right? 20,000. So 10th. Purchase account debit to कौन था? Star. Yeah. Star account 20,000. अच्छा, फिर sold goods to Mr. C 12,500. Now we are selling goods to C. Okay. What is the date? 11th. Okay. 11th को लिखेंगे C account debit to sales account 12,500. Because here they have not mentioned cash or credit. Then step number 2, name of party is given. Answer is yes. So it's a credit transaction. So debit the receiver, C is receiver, and credit all income. Acha. Then sold goods to Mr. Ocean. Okay, we are dealing with entire universe. Sun, moon, sky, sea, ocean. Very good. Okay. Then 25,000. Again, it's credit word. Yes. So 12. We can write here. Ocean account debit to sales account. Amount is 25,000. 25,000. Okay. Then 13th, Mr. C returned goods. Now, whenever there is a return, sales return or purchase return, we generally take the reference of the main transaction of purchase and sales. मतलब अगर purchase credit में है तो हम assume करते हैं by default कि purchase return का भी credit impact होगा. अगर purchase cash में था तो हम assume करते हैं कि return भी cash में होगा normally. Like imagine करो that near to your school there is a shop, stationery shop, okay, and he knows you personally, maybe let's say your family also. Now what happens is you often buy stationery from there. You are having a running account. Okay, your dad has instructed that whatever my son or daughter wants, आप उसको चीजें दे दो and at the month end you let me know the total amount of bill. Okay, हम दे देंगे आपको whatever he or she needs, pen, pencil, project paper, graph paper, something like that. Okay, now you bought a book which is worth rupees 100. Okay, so what entry that person must have given? That person must have passed entry that X account debit to sales, है ना? X account to sales, because वो credit में sales हुआ. Next day, you went to that particular shopkeeper and showed the manufacturing defect. कि देखो भैया, here the pages are not proper, right? Here the proper stapling is not done, right? Here some pages are ruled, some are unruled. How can you give this kind of book? And he agreed. And he's like, I don't have other book. And you come tomorrow or what? And you're like, I need it immediately. I need to make some notes and all that. I'll buy it from some other stationery. Now, when you return that, do you expect any cash back from the seller, stationery guy? No, because आपने खरीदते वक्त दिया ही नहीं था पैसा, तो वो आपको पैसा क्यों देगा? He will adjust in your account. But imagine करो, while buying that particular book, there is no account running, no credit sales. आपने 100 रुपए दिए, you went home, you came next day, अब बोलो कि ये defective है, he takes back and he'll give you cash back. करेक्ट नो? तो बाय डिफॉल्ट वी टेक रेफरेंस ऑफ द ओरिजिनल ट्रांजेक्शन. तो सबसे पहले हम जाएंगे मिस्टर सी. अब सी भाई साहब को वी हैव सोल्ड गुड्स ऑन क्रेडिट. तो व्हेन ही रिटर्न्स द गुड, इट्स अ सेल्स रिटर्न ऑन क्रेडिट इटसेल्फ. ओके, सो सेल्स रिटर्न इज एन एक्सपेंस. जैसे सेल्स हमारा इनकम है, कुछ रिटर्न आएगा तो वो लॉस होगा, एक्सपेंस होगा. तो सेल्स रिटर्न अकाउंट डेबिट टू सी. डेट इज 13, अमाउंट 2500. ओके, सो वी पास जर्नल एंट्री हियर 13 sales return account debit 2500 to C account 2500. Narration क्या लिखोगे? Being goods returned by C or being goods sold to Mr. C, now returned, or Mr. C returned goods worth rupees 2500. See, जब बहुत कंफ्यूजन हो ना कि नरेशन क्या लिखे, यू कैन जस्ट कॉपी पेस्ट दी ट्रांजैक्शन इटसेल्फ बिकॉज इट्स अ रेफरेंस व्हाट यू आर गिविंग. नाउ 15th, रिटर्न गुड्स टू मिस्टर मून. अब हमने गुड्स रिटर्न किया मिस्टर मून को, तो भाई मून कहाँ है? ये रहा, और वो भी क्रेडिट में था. नाउ परचेज इज एन एक्सपेंस, सो परचेज रिटर्न इज व्हाट? रिडक्शन इन एक्सपेंस, और यू कैन से इनकम. तो क्या होगा? मून अकाउंट डेबिट, डेबिट द रिसीवर, मून अकाउंट डेबिट टू परचेज रिटर्न. डेट 15th. Moon account debit to purchase return account 2000. Moon to purchase return. Okay. Now 16th, received from Mr. C 9900 and allowed him a discount of 100. अब देखो, हो सकता है कि मिस्टर सी से आपको 10,000 लेने हो. दिस ट्रांजेक्शन यू कैन ऑल्सो राइट दैट रिसीव्ड 9,900 फ्रॉम मिस्टर सी इन और ऑन फुल सेटलमेंट, राइट? इन फुल सेटलमेंट यू कैन ऑल्सो राइट लाइक दैट. इसका मतलब क्या होगा? इन फुल सेटलमेंट, whenever some amount is outstanding, sometime we give a lump sum amount in full and final settlement which is lesser than the amount outstanding. तो जो डिफरेंस होता है उसको हम क्या बोलेंगे? डिस्काउंट अलाउड. एग्जाम्पल लेते हैं. Imagine that you are having a running account with your stationery guy, and often now and then you purchase some pen, pencil, refill, eraser, notebook, right? Scale, ruler, compass box, right? Or the pencil pouch, etc., right? Notebooks and all that. You are purchasing it. Now at the end of the month, he is telling you, sir, your total bill is 1,003 rupees. You may give him a look. Bhaiya, I'll give 1,000. No, it's fine. And you're like, okay. So what you're doing, against the amount outstanding 1,000, you are paying a lump sum amount of in full and final settlement 1,000. Now, for him, it is a discount of 3 rupees. Here they have directly given. So we are receiving cash. Okay, 16th. We will pass entry. Now this is a combined entry what we will pass. So entry will be cash account debit 9,900. Okay. Discount allowed account debit 100 to, from whom we received, C, to C, 10,000. Now here it is your choice. You can write discount allowed or you can simply write discount account. It's fine. It's advisable you write discount allowed and discount received separately, because if you write only discount account, there are possibilities that it will merge and in P&L only net impact will go. But if you follow full disclosure concept that हमको जो भी हुआ है एकदम gross पे दिखाना है, then it's advisable total discount allowed in the business and total discount received by the business you show separately. Okay. Then now paid to Moon 7880 and discount allowed by him 120. So Moon has allowed a discount of rupees 120. तो हम क्या करेंगे? It is income for us. हमने Moon को पैसा दिया, तो Moon account debit with 8,000 to cash to discount received. 17. Moon account debit 8,000 to cash 7880 to discount received amount 120. Okay. Now withdraw for personal use 1,000. Now what happened? From business we are withdrawing rupees 1,000 in cash. तो होगा क्या भाई? The cash of the business is depleting. Some of you may think, sir, उसका ही तो पैसा है वो ले रहा है. No. From the viewpoint of accounting, the proprietor and the business both are separate. Proprietor and business both are separate. तो हम क्या करेंगे? We will debit drawings account. Remember I told you, capital, when we are giving something to business, it goes to capital. When we are withdrawing something from business, it goes to drawing. And ultimately the drawing amount account we will close and transfer to capital only, right? But as of now, I'll transfer it to drawings account. Okay, so 29th. Next is 29. Okay. Drawings account debit to cash and the amount is 1,000 rupees. Okay, what next? 30. Withdraw goods for private use. Cost 500, selling price 600. Now mind well, this is the concept, right, of goods gone out of the business other than sale. ठीक है? Goods gone out of the business other than sale. Now whenever goods are going out of the business other than sale, now it can be for personal use we are taking, okay, or maybe let's say we are doing charity, or we have given as a free sample possible, or it is lost, right, destroyed, etc. So all these are what? The example of goods going out of the business. Okay. So whenever goods are going out of the business other than sale, we always record it at cost price. So selling price is not relevant. Selling price is not relevant. Okay. Now whenever goods are going out of the business, technically it's a loss. So we debit that loss account or the person who has taken it, and we credit the purchase account, right? Whenever, because purchase is expense for business. Now here we are not going to sell this, so we credit purchase account. तो उसका क्या एंट्री पास करेंगे? ड्रॉइंग्स अकाउंट डेबिट टू परचेजेस 500. ड्रॉइंग टू परचेजेस, डेट इज 30. ड्रॉइंग्स account debit to purchase account, amount is fine, always at cost, always at cost. Now 31, paid salary to Sevakram, an employee. Now whenever you are paying salary or whenever you are incurring some expenses, right, the person is not relevant because you look to the expense. अगर आपके पास let's say 2 या 3 एम्प्लॉई है, हाँ, let's say Sunil, Anil, Mohan, I'm just taking random name, okay, and each one is earning a salary of rupees 10,000 per month. फ्रॉम योर बिजनेस. तो जब भी आप सैलरी पे करोगे, वेदर यू आर पेइंग इट टू सुनील, अनिल और मोहन, आप एंट्री तो सेम ही पास करोगे. बिकॉज नाउ सुनील, अनिल एंड मोहन, यू आर नॉट गिविंग देम एनी अमाउंट इन देयर पर्सनल कैपेसिटी. आप उनको क्या दे रहे हो? जो सर्विसेज आपने लिया है. तो वेदर यू आर गिविंग इट टू सुनील, अनिल और मोहन, और लेट्स से सोहन, डजंट मेक एनी डिफरेंस. यू आर पेइंग फॉर सैलरी. ओके, लेट अस से आपने टेलीफोन का रिचार्ज करवाया. नाउ वेदर योर ऑपरेटर इज जियो, एयरटेल or BSNL, unfortunately Vodafone, because the network is not good nowadays. But again, right, no personal grudges with that, just example. But whatever you're doing, you are passing entry what? Telephone expense account debit to what? Bank. Correct, no? So here you are paying the expense. So entry will be salary account debit to cash, 31. Now salary account debit to cash 500. Okay. Then paid rent to Mr. Estate, a landlord. Again, I don't see the person, I am looking at the expense. So 500 rupees. 31 rent account debit to cash account 500. Okay. Then goods given for charity other than sale. So selling price is not relevant. Charity account debit to purchase 600. We'll write here. Charity account debit to purchase. It was 600 rupees. Okay. What next? Goods destroyed by fire. Again, same. Cost 500, selling price is not relevant. Insurance company admitted. Now, this is the word that we should focus on. They have admitted, they have not yet paid. There's a difference between admission of claim and payment of claim. If insurance company would have paid that claim, we must have received the money. तो हम क्या लिखेंगे? कैश और बैंक. But here they have not paid us cash. उन्होंने बोला कि भाई they came, they took the survey, and they're like, yes, we agree, you have the active policy, you are paying premium regularly, your policy is active, and this policy is covering this loss, and we will pay for it. They have given the approval. You have that sanction letter, right? जो claim approve हुआ है, you have the approval letter from the insurance company. But they told, sir, it will take some time, 5, 10, 20, 30 days. Okay, no problem. But आपका क्या हो गया? Right to receive is established. And claim is only for 60%. अच्छा, तो out of 500, 60%, 300 is approved. What about remaining 40%? 200 rupees is loss. है ना? तो हम क्या लिखेंगे? यहाँ पे 31 will have a special journal entry. 31. You can write insurance company account debit. Insurance company, or you can write insurance claim receivable, your choice. Okay, or receivable insurance claim account debit. This amount will be how much? 300. How we got this 300 rupees? That is 500 into 60%, right? Then we can write here loss by fire into bracket profit and loss account debit 200. How we got this 200? 500 into 40%. Okay, then to what? To we have the standard account purchases. To purchase account how much? 500. Okay, what if, अब यहाँ पे मैं ऐसा क्यों लिख रहा हूँ loss by fire account and instead of P&L? देखो P&L बनता है at the end of the year, right? So it's advisable you open something called loss account. वरना P&L लिखो तो भी, like majority cases it doesn't make much difference, but it's advisable you write like this. फिर goods used in making office furniture. Selling price, again we are using it for own consumption, so obviously we do it for cost price. So furniture account debit to purchase 1000. Furniture to purchases. Furniture account debit to purchase. Amount is 1000. Okay. What next? Free samples. Selling price not relevant. 300 rupees cost price. Now whenever you are giving it for free samples, you have 3 accounts available. I'm not drawing it because 1 or 2 journal entries are there. तो नीचे ही यहाँ पे लिख देते हैं अपने 31. You can write free samples or sales promotion or advertisement account debit to purchase account, amount 300. Okay. So it is your choice. You can use free samples account. Some books, some authors, they use sales promotion. Some they use advertisement. I personally use this advertisement. But ऐसा कोई rule नहीं है. You can use anything, right? Free samples account or sales promotion account or purchase account, your choice. Now 31. This I like personally. Received goods from Kamal Limited to be distributed as free samples. Cost 8,000, selling price 9600. And 60% goods was distributed as free sample immediately. So now, what entry we will pass for this? Socho. 31. No entry. Now some of you may get confused at why we are not passing any journal entry. Just look at the transaction. We are receiving goods from a manufacturer to be distributed as free sample, right? We are not purchasing it. So imagine that I start a company of manufacturing chips. Sunil Chips. I start a company called Sunil Chips. Now this Sunil Chips, nobody knows about the taste and the quality. So what I'm doing, I am just marketing it. Now imagine you are having a shop, okay, or a canteen where I have my prospective customer, or let's say a supermarket, and many of you might have seen people at the supermarket. Let's say you go to Star Bazaar, right, Smart Point, or what you can say, this Spar hypermarket, right, Big Market, etc. Some of the shopping market. Now there I have advised them that, sir, whosoever is purchasing goods for 500 rupees or more, please give them 2 packets of chips. Then let's say the Smart Bazaar, Smart Point, right, Reliance, they are saying, sir, what is my benefit in that? Why we should market your product? Sir, I will, once the customer are taking free samples from you, if they like, they will come and ask for the product for the purpose of buying it. So your sale will increase and I will give you good discount. Correct, no? So, or let's say we are having a deal. I'll give you some XYZ amount of share. Or for marketing this only, I'll give you 10,000 rupees. Possible. It can be any deal. So right now, assume from the viewpoint of Smart Point, Reliance Smart Point. Okay. So Sunil Chips has contacted Smart Point and I have dumped their goods worth rupees 8,000. Chips worth rupees 8,000. And I have instructed them, they kindly give them as a free sample. Now, Reliance Smart Point is giving free samples to the customer. Now tell me whether there is any profit or loss from the viewpoint of Reliance in giving these 2 chips. No, they received it for free. Here nowhere they have told that we bought it. Okay, so we are receiving it for free. We are giving it for free. So we are working just as an intermediary. Now, whether some chips are there in my stock or not, I will not record it as a closing stock also because it is not belonging to me. Okay. Now, some of you may wonder that, sir, what if for this they would have given for this practice we are getting 500 rupees commission. That commission we can record. Okay, that commission we can record. Okay, but right now we are receiving it on behalf of someone and we are giving it to someone. Let's say, like, if you are giving some goods to me, okay, let's say you have given one bag. Sir, kindly give it to Sandeep sir. So I received the bag, I gave it to Sandeep sir. What is the profit or loss for my point of view? Nothing. So that's why my financials are not getting affected. Okay, so this was your one basic question. So now the next question we are doing here. Yeah. So from the following information, record the transaction in the journal of Delhi Furniture Mart. So we are supposed to write in the books of Delhi Furniture Mart. So we have this format ready. So we can write in the books of Delhi Furniture Mart. Okay. So 2018 again, 1st January, started business with cash 10,000. Okay. So we can write here 2018 January 1 cash account debit to capital, because we have started business with cash, amount is 10,000. Okay, then paid into bank 9,000, right? So out of 10,000 we are paying into bank 10,000, 9,000 rupees. So it's like we have opened a new account. Okay, so when you open a new account, we pass entry bank account debit, because bank is the receiver, and my cash is going out to cash 9,000. Okay, then purchased machinery for 5,000 from Jawahar and gave him a check for the amount. Now we have already given a check, so whether it is Jawahar or anyone else doesn't make any difference, right? Because we already paid check. It's a cash transaction. Mind well, cash का मतलब सिर्फ cash नहीं होता. Even when we are giving check and all that, it's a cash transaction only, right? So when we have given check, my bank balance is going down, or my bank is giving money on my behalf. So credit bank and debit what? Machinery. So I'll write what is the date here, 3rd. Machine account debit to bank, and the amount is 5,000 rupees. You can write machine account, machinery account, doesn't make any difference. Now on 5th, paid installation charges of machinery 100. Now mind well, this is a capital expenditure. Whenever for the purpose of bringing asset into existence, if you are incurring some expenditure, it's always clubbed with the asset. So we need to add this 100 rupees with machine only. 5th, date is 5th. So machine account debit to cash account 100 rupees. Okay, what next? On 20 January, we have purchased timber from Naveen. List price 2,000. He allowed 10% trade discount. Now, first of all, timber is nothing but a type of wood. Okay, and since our company is a furniture company, तो furniture के लिए क्या होगा? Purchase, raw material you can say, or purchase, right? So this will be debited to purchase account and not a timber account और फर्नीचर अकाउंट, राइट? तो ये हो गया वुड, अपना बेसिक जिसमें हम ट्रेड करते हैं, तो परचेज अकाउंट. अब सवाल आता है कि भाई वेदर इट इज अ कैश और क्रेडिट ट्रांजेक्शन. नोवेयर इट इज गिवन इट्स अ कैश ट्रांजेक्शन. ना तो हमने कैश दिया है ना तो हमने चेक दिया है. सो नवीन इज इंपॉर्टेंट. अब आते हैं डिस्काउंट के ऊपर. डिस्काउंट दो टाइप के होते हैं, एक ट्रेड डिस्काउंट, एक होता है कैश डिस्काउंट. नाउ ट्रेड डिस्काउंट जनरली is also known as quantity discount, which is given on the quantity that you are purchased. Right? Let's say buy 5 and you will get 10% off. Okay, buy goods worth rupees 1 lakh and you'll get what? 200 rupees off, like, or 2% off. See, many of you might have visited some shopping mall and all, where they have this kind of offers. Buy 1, 10% off. Buy 2, 15% off. Or let's say buy 5, 30% off. Okay, buy 3, get 9, buy 3, get 5, right? So buy 3, get 2 free, like that. It is on the bulk. Generally, trade discount is given for bulk purchase and sales. Okay, but similarly, we have something called cash discount. Now, cash discount encourages prompt payment, immediate payment, or rather say early payment. Now, what do you mean by early payment? Early payment, maybe many students they have this confusion. So please focus. Cash discount is not only available for cash sales. Some of the students they give this kind of definition or meaning, their understanding कि सर कैश डिस्काउंट सिर्फ कैश सेल्स पे दिया जाता है. आंसर इज नो, इट्स नॉट नेसेसरी. मतलब अब मान लो कि भाई यू आर अ कस्टमर, ठीक है, एंड यू कम एंड आस्क सर आर यू सेलिंग गुड्स फॉर क्रेडिट. आई सेड यस. सर कितना क्रेडिट पीरियड देते हो? तो मैंने बोला भाई मैं आपको 30 days का क्रेडिट पीरियड दूंगा. इफ यू परचेज टुडे within a month you have to pay, or 1 month credit period. For that 1 month I am not charging any interest. But the moment you purchase goods, I have also given you an offer that sir if you pay within first 10 day, say for example आपने 1st January को purchase किया and you pay within 10th January, I will give you 5% discount. Can't I say this 5% I'm offering to customer for immediate payment? Answer is yes. For early payment, answer is yes. So always remember, cash discount is not only and only for cash sales and credit sales. ऐसा नहीं है. Cash discount can also be given to debtors. Okay, but यहाँ पे cash discount नहीं है. जब भी आप लिखो trade discount, कभी भी परचेज और सेल्स में रिकॉर्ड नहीं होता है. मतलब your purchase and sale is always recorded after deducting trade discount. We never open ledger of trade discount in our books. Okay, whether trade discount received or paid, we never record it. We record the net amount. But cash discount received or cash discount given is always recorded. So यहाँ पे क्या हो गया भाई 2000 में 10% तो है. So net purchase I will record at 1800. Okay, now imagine for 2 minutes. यहाँ पे ऐसा दिया होगा कि we are also giving cash discount 5%. Okay, they are giving 5% cash discount. तो हम क्या करेंगे? I will record 95% cash payment. I will record 5% cash discount. But still, purchase will be how much? 1800 only. ठीक है? तो purchase and sales are always recorded net of trade discount, and cash discount received or paid is always recorded in your books of account. ठीक है? तो अब यहाँ पे आएगा purchase account debit to Naveen. How much? 1800. Okay. Date is 20. तो हम लिखेंगे यहाँ पे 20 पे योर परचेज अकाउंट डेबिट टू नवीन एंड द अमाउंट इज 1800. अच्छा, फॉर योर रेफरेंस इफ यू वांट आई विल राइट हियर दैट इट इज 2000. इट इज 2000 minus 10%. Okay, then furniture costing 500 was used in furnishing the office. Now what does it mean? We might have purchased timber and all that, right? Now it is actually used. We might have made some furniture out of it. Okay, हमने कुछ furniture बनाया, maybe let's say table, chair, cupboards, etc. Now out of that furniture worth rupees 500 we have used in furnishing the office. Obviously हमारे ऑफिस में भी तो टेबल चेयर चाहिए ना. तो why we purchase from outsider where we are the one who is manufacturing it. तो अब क्या होगा यहाँ पे हम इसको as an asset लेंगे अभी, because now it is not available for sale. It is used as a proper furniture in my book. तो हमारा एंट्री 23rd क्या होगा? 23rd को it's furniture account debit to purchases. कितना भाई? 500. Okay. 25th, sold furniture to Naresh. List price 1000 and allowed him a trade discount of 5%. Now we always record this at net of trade discount, and furniture is what? Goods for us, right? So entry will be what? Naresh account debit to सेल्स एट व्हाट 950 रुपीज. ठीक है, बट इन दैट कहीं पे दिया है कैश पे किया नरेश ने या चेक दिया? नहीं. तो 25th इट्स अ क्रेडिट सेल्स फॉर अस. तो हम उसका एंट्री क्या देंगे 25th के लिए? Naresh account debit. Naresh account debit to sales account. Amount आएगा 950. Now, how this 950 came? How this 950 came? So it's 1000 minus 5%. Trade discount is always given. For cash discount, we need to see whether cash is paid or cash is paid within that limit or not. But trade discount, once you meet the requirement, maybe of the quantity or the amount, तो आपको वो मिलेगा. Many of you might have seen on some of the e-commerce website, specifically in clothes, right? If you are surfing my Myntra, Ajio, then they say purchase 500 rupees off on purchase of 2000 or above. That is what? A trade discount, right? Then 28. Received a cross check from Naresh for 930 in full settlement and sent the check to bank. Okay. Now, cross check. There are two type of checks. One is a cross check and one is a bearer check. Cross check क्या होता है? Like this is your check. Imagine this is your check. ठीक है? So in that we will have this two lines. If these lines are there, उसको हम क्या बोलेंगे? Cross check. Sometime in between this line we also write account pay. So it is also known as account pay check. Now this check is considered to be a more secured check because it will be directly going to the account of concerned party. Okay, you can never encash it. Imagine that one institute, let's say ABC Institute, has given me a check of rupees 5,000, but it's a cross check. I go to my bank, on counter I present and say, give me 5,000 cash. They'll be like, no sir, we cannot give you cash. It has to go to the account first, then from that you can withdraw it. But I cannot give you cash. But what if here there is no account pay, huh? No two lines, then it is a bearer check, open check. I can present on the counter and I can take money. Okay, so here it doesn't make much difference. Now we are receiving 930 in full settlement. Now if you see in the previous entry, we have debited Naresh account on 25th with 950 rupees, but he is giving only 930 rupees. That 20 rupees what? Discount allowed to him. Journal क्या बनेगा इसका? Journal bank account debit, $930. Discount allowed account debit, 20 rupees to Naresh. To Naresh account, total 950. Okay. Now here, if you focus, here this word is given, sent check to bank. Now here there is one more concept that we need to focus. Generally ये concept ज़्यादातर cash book वाले में आता है. Okay. Sometimes when you receive a check and you do not deposit in bank account, then you cannot debit a bank account. Okay. Journal entry में bank account debit करने के लिए there is a condition. Condition number one, either the check we have deposited into bank, or money is deposited in bank, or bank has already created our account. Then and then only in our books we can debit bank. ठीक है, हमने deposit किया cash, हमने डिपॉजिट किया चेक, या बैंक ने कुछ इंटरेस्ट डेबिट क्रेडिट किया हमारे अकाउंट में, या फिर अवर कस्टमर हैज डायरेक्ट डिपॉजिटेड अमाउंट इन अवर बैंक अकाउंट एंड देन वी कम टू नो, देन वी कैन डेबिट बैंक. बट कस्टमर हैज गिवन चेक टू अस, देन and we are not depositing it, we are not sending it for collection, then we cannot debit bank account. तो अब सवाल आता है कौन सा अकाउंट डेबिट करें. ट्रेडिशनली वी हैव ऑप्शन ऑफ डेबिटिंग कैश. There at that time the argument was it is a cash equivalent, so debit cash. तो हम क्या करते थे, cash account debit to party account or sales account, and then when we deposit it we pass entry bank account debit to cash. Now we also have in modern accounting, instead of cash, because again debiting cash is a misleading thing, so we have an option of debiting checks in hand account. So we can write checks in hand account to party account and then bank account debit to checks in hand when we deposit it. Acha, what if nothing is mentioned? Here it's mentioned. What if nothing is mentioned? If nothing is mentioned, we need to check the further 2 3 transaction, 5 transaction. If anywhere they give information that this particular check was deposited, it means here on 28th it was not deposited. Imagine on 29th, here there is one adjustment. The check received from Naresh is sent for collection. Then here checks in hand, we will pass journal entry, or cash account we will pass journal entry. But if the entire question is silent when it is deposited, by default we assume it is deposited on same day. So if there is a specific hint in question that the deposition of this check was delayed, तभी हम उसको अज्यूम करेंगे चेक इज नॉट डिपॉजिटेड. बट अदरवाइज जब भी ऐसा हुआ चेक मिला तो आपको बैंक में ही लेना है. अच्छा, वन मोर कॉन्सेप्ट इज लाइक व्हेन यू इश्यू चेक, शुड बी वेट फॉर प्रेजेंटेशन? नो नो नो, वहां पे चेक कब प्रेजेंट हुआ उससे कोई मतलब नहीं है. जब भी दिया चेक इश्यूड, सिंपली आपको क्या लिखना है? बैंक. ठीक है. नाउ 29 सेंट हियर, सेंट टू नवीन इन फुल सेटलमेंट अ चेक ऑफ ₹1750. सी, हमने नवीन को दिया, नवीन से हमने गुड्स लिया था 1800 में. सो रिमेनिंग 50 इज व्हाट? डिस्काउंट रिसीव्ड. अच्छा, अब डिस्काउंट रिसीव्ड है. अच्छा, आर वी सपोज टू चेक हियर व्हेन चेक वाज प्रेजेंटेड फॉर पेमेंट? नो सर. व्हाट इफ दैट इंफॉर्मेशन इज गिवन? Dear, whatever is given is always not useful. We need to also learn the art of ignorance. क्या करेंगे उसको? Ignore. Why? Because when he is depositing, none of my business. I have paid. Yes, I will record it. Okay. So what entry we will pass on 29th? What entry we will pass on 29? Naveen account debit 1800 to bank. Okay. And to discount received. Okay. Then what they have given? On 31st, paid wages of 350 and rent 200. Now you can pass a combined entry. Wages expense, so wages account debit. Rent expense is expense, right? So rent account debit to cash. Or you can have two separate journal entry: wages to cash, rent to cash. Let us pass a combined entry. 31st. Wages account debit 350. Rent account debit 200 to cash. Amount 550. Over. So this was your question. Let us do the next question here. Record the transactions of Messrs. Sahil and Company for the month of March 17 on the basis of double entry system, adopting the following approaches: accounting equation and traditional approach. Okay, so now हमको दोनों अप्रोच देखने हैं, ट्रेडिशनल एंड अकाउंटिंग इक्वेशन. पहले हम क्या करेंगे? विल डू दिस क्वेश्चन विद द ट्रेडिशनल अप्रोच. उसके बाद हम देखेंगे अकाउंटिंग इक्वेशन अप्रोच. ठीक है. तो दे हैव गिवन सम 4-5 एडजस्टमेंट. ट्रांजैक्शंस, फिगर्स इन 1000. Sahil introduced capital through bank 4000. Cash withdrawn from Citibank 300. Loan of ₹500 taken from Y. Salaries paid for the month of 17, 300 and 100 still payable. And furniture purchase 500. Okay, तो गिन के 5 adjustment है. So first I am doing this. Okay, so first we'll have answer B. Okay, in the books of Messrs. Sahil, no? Sahil. In the books of Sahil and Company. Okay, here if you want we can write 2017 March, but here dates are not given, so obviously serial number will come. Okay, so you can choose, right, to write 1 2 3 4 5 like that. First we introduce capital through bank, so bank account debit to capital. Okay, here if we want we can write rupees and 1000. So first entry will be bank account debit to capital. The amount is 4,000. Okay. Then next we have cash withdrawn from Citibank, 300. Now we are withdrawing cash. Mind you, it's not drawing, because nowhere in question they're told that this cash is for their personal use. ऐसा नहीं बोला है. तो obviously this cash is for their business use. तो entry क्या आएगा? Cash account debit to bank. Okay. So second entry will write cash account debit to bank account. Amount is 300. Okay. फिर आपको बोला है लोन ऑफ ₹500 टेकन फ्रॉम वाई. तो पैसा आ रहा है एंड क्रेडिट द गिवर, लोन फ्रॉम वाई. सो वी कैन राइट थर्ड एंट्री कैश account debit to loan from Y account and amount is 500. Okay. Then salary is paid for the month of March, 300 and 100 is still outstanding. मतलब 300 रुपए पे करने के बाद भी 100 rupees outstanding. मतलब total expenses 400. What I'll do? I'll pass a combined entry. Fourth entry. Salaries account debit 400 to cash account 300 and to outstanding salaries account 100. Okay. And maybe next month or next year we can pass entry outstanding salary, salary account debit, outstanding salary to salary, and when you pay salary account debit to bank, it gets nullified. या फिर आप directly outstanding salary to cash और bank भी कर सकते हो पैसे. फिर furniture purchase 500. Okay, so the next entry will be furniture account debit to cash account. So amount is 500. Furniture to cash. Okay. So this is how your traditional approach will look like. And then now we will see the modern equation approach. Now modern equation approach क्या होता है यहाँ पे? Modern equation approach. So our equation is assets is equal to capital plus liabilities. Okay. So here what we do, as per the equation, we bifurcate the account in 5 category: assets, capital, liability and expenses and revenue, or you can say revenue or income. Okay. बट जब इक्वेशन बनाते हैं तो उसमें हम कभी इनकम और एक्सपेंसेस नहीं लिखते. तो क्या होता है, इनकम और एक्सपेंसेस गेट्स एडजस्टेड इन योर कैपिटल, राइट. वी ऐड रेवेन्यू एंड वी सबट्रैक्ट एक्सपेंसेस और लॉसेस. ओके. तो अल्टीमेटली वो कहाँ जाएगा? कैपिटल में जाएगा. अगर आपने सेल किया तो कैपिटल में ऐड करेंगे, परचेस किया तो कैपिटल से रिड्यूस करेंगे, एंड दैट विल टेक फॉर्म पार्ट ऑफ योर दिस वन. ठीक है. अब सेल भी किया तो प्रॉफिट लॉस, नॉट एग्जैक्टली फुल सेल अमाउंट, राइट, बिकॉज आपका स्टॉक भी तो एडजस्ट होगा. तो जो भी प्रॉफिट लॉस है दैट गेट्स एडजस्टेड इन योर दिस. अब हमको ये बनाने के लिए इन आवर इक्वेशन और आवर क्वेश्चन वी नीड टू आइडेंटिफाई द असेट्स अकाउंट एंड लायबिलिटीज अकाउंट. कैपिटल तो रहेगा ही रहेगा. ओके. सो अगर मैं आइडेंटिफाई करना स्टार्ट करूं, एक होगा बैंक अकाउंट असेट्स के लिए, कैश इज ऑल्सो एन असेट, 2 आ गया. फिर कैश बैंक, कैश लोन इज अ लायबिलिटी, सैलरी एक्सपेंस है. ओके. एंड फर्नीचर. सो टेक्निकली आई हैव 3 असेट अकाउंट. ओके. अब लायबिलिटीज अगर हम देखें तो एक कैपिटल तो ठीक है, बैंक इज असेट, लोन फ्रॉम वाई इज अ लायबिलिटी एंड आउटस्टैंडिंग सैलरीज लायबिलिटी। तो अगर ये क्वेश्चन के लिए अगर मैं इक्वेशन बनाऊं तो माय इक्वेशन विल बी समवॉट लाइक दिस, बैंक प्लस कैश प्लस फर्नीचर is equal to capital plus loan from Y plus outstanding salaries. See, this is one of the reasons कि शायद ये अकाउंटिंग इक्वेशन इतना पॉपुलर नहीं है. द रीजन इज आपको हर एक ट्रांजैक्शन की इफेक्ट पता नहीं चलेगी, लाइक प्रॉफिट लॉस, या आपको एट द एंड कितना सैलरी आपने पे किया, कितना रेंट पे किया, बिकॉज एवरीथिंग गेट्स एडजस्टेड इन योर कैपिटल. तो वो एक प्रॉब्लम आता है. सेकेंड केस में आपका प्रॉब्लम यहाँ पे आएगा कि इट डू नॉट गिव यू द एग्जैक्ट अमाउंट ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन फॉर प्रॉफिट लॉस. अगर आपको पीरियोडिक भी कुछ बनाना है तो नहीं मिलता है. सो जनरली ये अवॉइड किया जाता है, एंड दैट्स व्हाई आवर ट्रेडिशनल अप्रोच इज मोर पॉपुलर. नाउ वन बाय वन, फर्स्ट ट्रांजैक्शन, राइट हियर इफ यू वांट आई कैन राइट रुपीज इन 1000. अब फर्स्ट ट्रांजैक्शन में क्या हो रहा है भाई, बैंक अकाउंट डेबिट टू कैपिटल. सो असेट साइड में बैंक इज इंक्रीजिंग, liability side my capital is increasing. So can I write like this? It's 4000 plus 0 plus 0 is equal to capital 4000 plus 0 plus 0. Okay. अब सेकेंड में क्या हो रहा है, सेकेंड आई एम विड्रॉइंग कैश फ्रॉम बैंक. सो लायबिलिटी में कोई इफेक्ट नहीं है, माई कैपिटल इज एज इट इज, नो लोन नो नथिंग, बट असेट में चेंज हो रहा है. वन असेट इज डिप्लीटिंग, अदर असेट इज क्रिएटिंग. तो यहां पे आएगा कि भाई माइनस, इट वाज हाउ मच, 300. ओके, सो आई राइट माइनस 300. अब कैश में आएगा 300 प्लस फर्नीचर 0. दिस इज 4000 प्लस 0, और हियर आई मीन इट्स 0 0 0 हियर. इफ वी एड एट द एंड एवरीथिंग इज 0, because there is no change in the liability side. Okay, now, and you can do at the end of the one transaction what is the balance, or you can just write the equation, or you can say write the effect of the transaction, and then at the end you will find out. Third transaction में क्या हो रहा है, third में we are getting cash from Y. So here 0, cash is increasing, no change in furniture, nothing here, but here 500 loan from Y is coming, and here it's 0. Then fourth transaction में क्या हो रहा है भाई, सैलरी एक्सपेंस है. अब एक्सपेंसेस कहाँ जाएगा, कैपिटल से रिड्यूस हो जाएगा, राइट. एंड हमने कैश दिया तो कैश भी रिड्यूस होगा, बट एक और लायबिलिटी क्रिएट होगा 100 का. ओके, सो हियर 0, I can write here minus 300, no change in furniture. Here 400 rupees will change because salary पे किया तो loss. Loan from Y as it is 0, no change in that. And here outstanding salary will increase. So see, asset side net effect is minus 300. Here also minus 300. No doubt capital reduced by 400, but another liability also emerged. And the fifth one, we are purchasing furniture for cash. So 0. Here cash will deplete, furniture will increase, but no change, no change, no change. Because of purchase of furniture, my capital is nowhere getting affected. Because of purchase of furniture, my loan from Y is not getting affected. Because of purchase of furniture, my outstanding salary is not getting affected. तो अभी इसको अगर हम देखें at the end of this fifth transaction, what is the impact? So अगर हम impact देखें तो here it will be 3700 plus cash 0 हो जाएगा plus 500. So my asset side is 4200. Here 3600 plus 500 plus 100. So here if I take total it's 4200. Here if I take total it's 4200. So this is how, right, you will present for your accounting equation. Develop the accounting equation from the following information available at the beginning of the accounting period. Okay, so we have capital, loan. So capital, loan is a liability, trade payable liability, asset, inventory, fixed assets, fixed assets, inventory, both are assets. Trade receivable asset, cash and bank assets. Okay. Then at the end of the accounting period, the balance appear as follow. Now capital they have not given, but loan liability, trade payable liability, fixed assets, inventory asset, trade receivable asset, cash at bank is asset. Okay. So what they're given, reset the equation and find out profit. Okay. And prepare balance sheet at the end of the accounting period. Now here, reset the equation and find out profit. Now what is profit? Profit is nothing but the difference between two capitals. Okay. But here we don't know the capital. So first we have to find out the closing capital. Before that, here in the question they have given, develop the accounting equation. So what interpretation we can have? They are asking us to write the accounting equation for the at the beginning of the year and accounting equation at the end of the year. At the end of the year when we write, we will find out the balancing figure as capital. By comparing two capitals, we can find out the profit or loss. Okay. So let us start. I can write here that accounting equation at the beginning of the year. Okay, accounting equation at the beginning of the year. Now, what is the accounting equation? Accounting equation is same. Assets is equal to capital plus liabilities. Now, we have to just develop this. What all assets we have? We have fixed assets, inventory. So, we can write fixed assets plus inventory plus trade receivables, plus cash and bank is equal to capital plus we have loan and trade payables. Okay, so one by one if I write fixed assets, they have given 12,800 plus inventory 22,600. Okay, 17,500 trade receivable. Cash at bank we have 15,300. Capital 51,000 given. Loan 11,500 given. Trade payable 5700. Okay. Now we don't have any changes and all. So simply if I write like this and let us use the calculator, you can pause the video and do the calculation. 12,800, 22,600, 17,500 and 15,300. Roughly 68,200 is the total of asset. It should be matching here. Yep, that is also 68,200. It's matching. Okay, now we will use the same to same equation. This equation. We'll use same equation here. Here. Yes, here we wrote that accounting equation at the beginning. Here I can do slight modification. We can do a slight modification. Accounting equation at the what? End of the year. Now for end of the year equation, if we see end of the year equation, if we see here, we don't know the capital. Okay, But here first asset 12,720. Let us put it. Surprisingly, the opening and closing, we have same amount of assets, I mean same items in assets and same to same items in liabilities. It may undergo changes. Like here trade receivables we have, and cash and bank inventory. You may have some additional item called investments. Okay, here capital loan trade payables. You may have additional items like outstanding salary, outstanding rent. So we need to incorporate it. But in this question, we don't have it. Then inventory 22,900. Okay. Then 17,500 trade receivables. Okay. Then 15,600 cash at bank. Okay. Capital I don't know. Let us assume X. Loan 11,500 as it is. 5800 trade payables. Okay. So if I now check here, if I make total 12,720, 22,900 plus 17,500 plus 15,600, roughly I am getting 68,720. Yep. And here it is X plus 11,500 plus 5800, 17,300. Okay. So therefore X is equal to 68,720 minus 17,300. So that is what I'm getting here, 51,420. What is this 51,420? This 51,420 is the capital at the end. Capital at the end. Now, if I just find out profit, therefore, profit is equal to capital at the end minus capital at the beginning. Okay, so what is capital at the end? 51,420. And what is capital at the beginning? Capital at the beginning is 51,000. Okay, so that is 51,000. So profit here is rupees 420. My profit is 420. Okay. On the top of that, they have asked us to prepare balance sheet also at the end of the accounting period. Okay. So let us prepare balance sheet. Okay. So if I just write here balance sheet as at so and so date. We don't know the date, right? Here we'll have all the liabilities, rupees. Here we'll have all the assets and rupees. Now how we give the presentation? Capital 51,000 plus net profit 420. 51,420. Okay, and then just we have to take the figures here. Loan and trade payables 11,500, 500. Loan and trade payables, it's 11,500 and 5,800. If I not, yeah. And here fixed assets 12,720. Inventory 22,900. 22,900. Trade receivable 17,500. And cash and bank 15,600. Okay, and here if you make total, then your total will be what? Roughly 68,720. You can check it because asset side it is 68,720, so it has to be same. You can just cross verify. So this was your question on equation 1, right? Now in this question, now the question is very easy, right? And you can orally solve it, but we'll just focus on the presentation and how to write the answer. Otherwise, orally you can do it. Mr. Dravid has provided the following details related to the financials. Find out the missing figure. Okay, so we need to find out missing figure. They have given ABC, rupees in thousands. Profit carved during the year, 5,000. Okay, so 5,000 is the profit. What do you understand from the term profit? It is nothing but the difference between two capital, technically. Okay, asset at the beginning, I don't know. Liability at the beginning, 12,000. Assets at the end, we don't know. Okay, so assets at the beginning as well as end, we don't know. At the end, liabilities, we don't know. But closing capital, we know, 50,000. And total liabilities, including the capital at the end of the year, 50,000. Okay, so it's common sense. If total capital, total liabilities, including capital, is 50 and capital is 35, difference what? 15,000 is closing liability. Second, if my total liabilities plus capital is 50, then my closing asset will also be what? 50,000. Correct, no? So let us just write all this thing and then opening. Now opening capital. Can we find out opening capital? Here, 35,000 is the closing capital. 5,000 is profit. So opening capital will be 30,000. And then from that we can find out rest of the thing. Okay, so if I just focus and if I just try to go by alphabetical, if I find out first A, then B, then C, we can easily do it. So here I'll write here that profit during the year is equal to closing capital minus opening capital. Now profit is 5,000, right? And closing capital 35,000. Therefore, opening capital is rupees 30,000. So we got one information. The opening capital is how much? 30,000, right? Now, opening assets I want to find out. Now, what is accounting equation? Assets is equal to liabilities plus capital. Do you know opening liabilities? Yes. Do you know opening capital? Yes. So can I write here? Accounting equation at the beginning of the year. At the beginning of the year, we need to write, right? So, assets is equal to capital plus liabilities. Do you know capital? Yes, 30. Do you know the liability? Yes, 12,000. So here assets will be rupees 42,000. So this is what alphabet A, right? They have asked us to find. Now B is the assets at the end and C is liabilities at the end. Okay. Now, if I write here that accounting equation at the end of the year. So assets is equal to again capital plus liability. Okay, now assets, capital and liability I don't know individually, but I know total of that 50,000 they have given here. The total of liability including capital is what? 50. So this is B, correct? Now here if I just use this formula, assets is equal to capital plus liability. Now assets I know 50, capital also I know 35,000 because it's given in the question, no, at the end. Yeah, plus liabilities I'll write as it is. It's 15,000 I know here. I'll just write plus liabilities. Therefore liabilities at the end of the year is how much? 15,000. And this is my alphabet C. Okay, and there's no necessity that you will show this calculation. You can directly write total liability including capital is 50,000 minus capital 35,000. You'll get what? Total liability at the end of the year 15,000. Okay, so again this was a small question, but sometimes some student, by just seeing this alphabets A, B and all that, they get scared. The only purpose I have taken this, otherwise it's a basic question. So now in journal entry only, we are going to discuss a new concept of GST, goods and service tax. Okay, so many of you might be knowing that whenever you purchase goods from XYZ seller, you have to pay GST to them, and whenever you sell to your customer, you will collect GST. Now whether this GST is an incentive scheme for all the trader like us, service provider like us, that you collect from your customer and you enjoy, no, it is a tax that we are collecting on behalf of government. Okay, or we are paying to the seller and seller will make payment to the government. Okay, now GST, the GST, like when you are purchasing goods for GST, okay, purchase, what entry we pass? Purchase account debit. Okay, now what GST you are paying? So we open account, input GST account debit to either creditor or cash and bank account. So imagine that I am purchasing goods, right, for rupees 100, and on that the supplier is charging 18% GST, just for the understanding purpose, right? So how much I am liable to pay to that person? 118. Or you can say it is a creditor account, or I might have directly paid 118. Let's say I have done a Google Pay of 118. Okay, so now this 18 rupees, what it is inclusive in the total value, I will record it a separate amount, input GST. Okay, so this amount I can say it's my amount which I have paid towards GST, and it is with government. Okay, now sales. Now when I'm selling goods, okay, let's say you came to my shop and you're like, sir, I need this product. Sir, okay, sir, how much for it? I told you 200 rupees plus GST. Imagine it's 200 rupees plus GST. You are like, okay, fine, sir, give it. And you are paying cash. So I'll write cash, or let's say bank, or if you are not paying, let us say debtors account debit. Okay, how much you will pay? Imagine 200 and the GST is, let's say 20 rupees, right? 10%. So 220. Customer account debit. Customer account debit 220. 2. Should I consider this entire 220 as my sales income? The answer is no. Okay, I'm assuming here 10%, the rate can be anything, right? There is no compulsion that it cannot be like, it has to be 18% only. It can be 18%, 0.5%, 28%, 5%, right? And here I'll say output GST 20. Okay, now government will ask me, Sunil sir, have you collected any GST? I said, yes, sir, 20 rupees. Kindly deposit it before 20 of the month. I'm like, sir, before 20 of the month, sir? Huh? I already paid this 18 rupees while purchasing some goods to my supplier, and they must have given it to you. They're like, oh, is it? Show me the invoice. I showed it, and they approved. Yes, sir. Sunil, sir, you are right. You purchased from Messrs. Chirag and Sons 18 rupees goods, right? I mean, goods worth rupees 100 by paying GST of 18. And Chirag and Sons has already deposited 18 with us. So, since you are liable to pay 20, already your GST money is with us worth rupees 18, kindly pay only 2 rupees. So, what I will pass entry for payment? What entry I will pass for payment? I will pass entry output GST account debit 20 to input GST account 18 to bank. 2 rupees. Okay. Now, because 2 rupees I'm paying out of my pocket, 20 rupee is a liability. 18 already I have paid. So I'll just set it off. And 2 rupees I will pay out of my pocket because I have collected it, right? Now, when I say this GST, for our reference, we have 3 type of GST. SGST, CGST, and IGST. There is one more GST, UT which is charged by Union Territory and all that, but it is not relevant for our question purpose. Okay, so I'm not discussing it. So 3 type of GST: SGST, State GST, CGST, Central GST, IGST, Interstate GST. It's not international, Interstate GST. Okay, now this particular two GSTs, this particular two GSTs are for intrastate transaction, and IGST is for interstate transaction. Now, what do you mean by interstate and intrastate? If I tell you what do you mean by interstate and intrastate, imagine that I am in one state, say for example Karnataka, okay, and then if I purchase goods from Karnataka, I sell goods in Karnataka, then the GST applicable to me will be what? CGST, SGST. And what GST I will collect from my customer, it is CGST, SGST. Okay, but imagine I am purchasing goods from Gujarat. I am staying in Karnataka. Then the Gujarat supplier will charge IGST on me. Imagine that I am here in Karnataka and I am providing service in Maharashtra. Then the amount or the invoice what I will raise, in that I will charge IGST. Okay, so whenever the supply of goods or services is within the state, okay, or let's say there are chances I am purchasing everything from Gujarat, I am selling everything in Karnataka, then the Gujarat supplier will charge IGST. I will be charging CGST, SGST. Okay, now that means we can have input CGST, SGST, or we can have output CGST, SGST, or both. We can have input or output CGST, SGST, and we can have input or output IGST. When I purchase here, it can be input CGST, IGST, SGST, or output here, it can be CGST, IGST, SGST. Now, how do we set it off? If I have paid here IGST and here it is SGST, can I pass this entry? Can we set off, right, IGST with CGST, SGST? So, for set off, if I just write set off. I have IGST. They're the input. Okay, input means I have paid IGST. Okay, where it can be utilized. This IGST can be utilized, it's quite obvious, for here output IGST. Let us assume that I am purchasing goods from Gujarat, where I have paid 100 rupees IGST. Now, from here in Karnataka, I am selling goods to Tamil Nadu. Okay, and there I have collected 200 rupees output GST, right? So, this 100 rupees input GST which I have received, IGST, from Gujarat, I can use it for paying 200 rupees. So, I have to pay government only remaining 100. Okay, but there are chances, no? Like the input GST is more, IGST, and output IGST is less. Chances are there. Imagine I purchased goods from Gujarat and the Gujarat supplier levied IGST on me. What are the charges? Let us say 5 lakh rupees is the IGST what he collected. Roughly, we'll take example 5 lakh rupees. Now, I am selling goods in Karnataka as well as I am selling goods in Tamil Nadu. So in Karnataka, I will have liability of CGST, SGST. Tamil Nadu, I will have what? IGS liability. Now, Tamil Nadu, the goods what I have sold, on that the GST, IGST, what I collected is 3 lakh. 5 lakh is input IGST and 3 lakh is output IGST. So still I have balance of IGST. But now in Karnataka, what I have sold goods, on that CGST is 50,000, SGST is also 50,000. Can I set it off against that? Answer is yes. So here, this is output and this one. Excess input, if any. So excess input can be utilized. Excess input can be utilized for SGST or CGST in any order. If you want to use it for SGST, use it. If you want to use it for CGST, use it equally in whatever order. Entire amount you use for SGST, entire amount you use for CGST, right? Will do. Now, what if I have input SGST? If we have input SGST, okay, so where we can use it? Obviously, first matching SGST. First, you utilize it towards paying SGST. But imagine the SGST collected is lesser. I mean, the amount payable is lesser than what I have supposed to receive. What I have paid to my supplier is more. Here, this CGST is 1 lakh. And this SGST is 1 lakh. This SGST is what? Only 70. 30,000 extra. Where we can use it? Where we can use it? Can we use it for payment of IGST? Can we use it for CGST or both? The answer is you can use it for IGST but not for CGST. IGST you can pay if you have extra SGST, that you can pay IGST, but you cannot pay extra amount, you cannot utilize in payment of CGST. Okay, here CGST is also knowing this thing, what SGST is doing. So CGST, whatever input we have, first I will use against CGST. Okay, and extra amount, where we can use extra amount? Extra amount you can use in what? IGST or SGST. But then they realize, oh, IGST is giving us credit but not CGST, SGST. So CGST also said that I cannot allow you to utilize my credit on state. So in short, if IGST is there, it's a general reserve. IGST use for payment of IGST, extra amount use for CGST, SGST in any order. But state and center, they are like, first you pay our owed. State will be utilized for state and then IGST. but not center. Central will be utilized for central and IGST, not for state. Okay, so this is the entire concept of your CGST, IGST. Now let us do one question on this here. So journalize the following transaction in the books of Mr. Rohit. So kindly draw for journal entry in the books of Mr. Rohit. In the books of Rohit. First, purchase goods from Sahil for 50,000 plus CGST and SGST 9% each. So 9% CGST, 9% SGST. Okay. It's a cash or credit transaction. It's a credit transaction because cash bank word is not given and name of party is given. Okay. So first entry, we can write purchase account debit 50,000. Okay. Now this is purchase and sales. It's always excluding the taxes. Okay, so 50,000. Then input SGST account debit. Now input SGST. Input SGST. It will be 50,000 into 9%. Okay. So 4,500. And then input CGST account debit. That is also 4,500 because it is given that here this is also 50,000 into 9%. Okay. To what? Sahil account. Only Sahil they have given. Yeah, Sahil. 59,000. 59. Purchase account debit, input GST debit, input SGST, input CGST. Right, and 59 is to be paid to Sahil. See, the moment you pay 59,000 rupees, what Sahil will do? At the end of the month, Sahil will adjust. Sahil will pay this 4,500, 4,500, total 9,000 to government. And he will keep with him 50,000. When you are supposed to pay GST, you can take credit of this 9,000 what you have paid. Okay. Purchase goods from Sam 40,000 at a trade discount of 10%. So that is what? 36,000. Plus CGST, SGST 9% each. 20,000 paid immediately. And the balance payable after 3 months. Okay, so first you are purchasing. Number 2. Purchase account debit 36,000. Why 36? We have discussed that any purchase or sales we record only and only after adjusting trade discount. We never open trade discount account in our books. So this is 40,000 minus 10%. Okay, so that means the GST will be applicable on this. Again, input SGST account debit and input CGST account debit. That will be what? 36,000 into 9%. 36,000 into 9%. You can find anyone. 3240. 3240. Right? Now, to bank, we have paid 20,000. Right? Yeah, 20,000 was paid immediately. So you can write to cash and bank. Okay. And 2, from whom we purchased? Sam. To Sam account. Balancing figure. So that balancing figure will be 36,000 plus 3240 plus 3240 minus 20. So roughly 22,440. 480. 22,480. Done. Then goods costing 20,000 withdrawn for personal use. Such goods were purchased by paying CGST and SGST 9% each. Okay. Now see, when goods are going out of the business, okay, other than sales, then if the goods are not used for the business purpose, you cannot avail that input credit. Okay, imagine that I'm having a GST number, okay, and I purchase goods stating that it is purchased for my business, okay, and then I use it for my personal use. Then if I use that credit again setting off the amount payable to government, it's injustice. No, it's unfair. So government is very strict. Government is like, if you are purchasing goods for your business, if it is going to be utilized in your business, then and then only you can take that input. Otherwise, you need to reverse it. Okay. So here, third, I'll write drawings account debit. Drawings account debit. How much? I will include GST here. So to purchases, right here, to purchase account, it's 20,000. Then to input, it's not output, input SGST account, and to input CGST. Now it is 9% each. So roughly 1,800. If I just calculate it, it's 20,000 into 9%. And here it's total 23,600. So it is as good as like it is not taken from your business. But what if you would have personally purchased it from the market for your personal use? Then you must have ended up paying 23,600. Since business is not getting this to benefit, we are charging it to drawings account. Okay. Then paid rent to Gagandeep for 30,000 plus CGST, SGST at 6% each. Okay. Now it's already paid. So this Gagandeep is of no use. So rent will be how much? 30,000. But input CGST, input SGST will be 6% each. So my journal entry will be fourth one, rent account debit 30,000. It was 30, right? Yeah. Then input SGST account debit and input CGST account debit to cash and bank. Okay, so it will be what? 30,000 into 6%. 30,000 into 6%. 1,800. So 33,600 that you must have paid in total. Okay. Then goods costing 5,000 before trade discount of 10%. So it's now 4,500, right? 5,000 minus 10%. Return to Sam. Such goods were purchased by paying CGST, IGST 9%. Obviously, if goods are returned, you have to write off or you have to reverse your input of CGST, SGST also. So, fifth entry, Sam account debit. We can write total later on. 2. Purchase return account 4,500. I should not be writing this, but still I'll write for you guys. 5,000 minus 10%. It's like simple, no? 2. Input SGST account and to input CGST account. Okay. And if I just use it, it will be what? 4,500 into 9% and 4,500 into 9%. So that will be 4,500 into 9%, 405. 405, 405. So total it will be what? 5310, right? Then furniture purchased for 44,800 including IGST at 12. Now this includes 44,800 includes 12% of IGST. Okay, so sixth one I'll write furniture account debit input IGST account debit to cash or bank. Now this is how much? 44,800, right? Okay. Now out of this 44,800, this is including 12%. Now imagine before including 12%, if the furniture value is 100, then input GST will be what? 12. 12, no? They have given 12. Yeah. IGST will be 12. So total amount paid is what? 1112. So can I use this equation here? If total amount paid is 112, then 100 is cost of furniture. Then in 44,800, how much? Correct, no? Imagine just like this. If you want, I'll write this for you here. I'll write it. Let's say let furniture be 100, right? The cost of furniture plus IGST 12. So this is what? Payment. So if payment is 112, then 100. Then here if payment is 44,800, how much? Right? So we can do the cross multiplication, and that you are getting 40,000 rupees here, and this is 4,800. It's you up to you, right? Like here 112 is to 12 and 44,800, how much? Or you can directly write 40,000 into 12%, you will get it. Okay. Yeah, sixth done, no? Seventh, purchase a machinery from Masons Symphony Industries for 1,40,000 plus CGST SGST 9%. Paid 1 lakh immediately and balance to be paid after 2 months. Okay, so it's like similar. So we can write here seventh one, machinery account debit, how much? 1,40,000, and input SGST account debit and input CGST account debit. Now it is respectively how much? 9% each. Okay, so I can write here 1,40,000 into 9%, and so 1,40,000 into 9%, 12,600. To cash and bank, you can write simply bank here, 1 lakh rupees, because they have given 1 lakh is paid immediately, and balance, which company is there? Symphony Industries, to Masons Symphony Industries account. Now the balance will be 65,200, right? 1,40,000 in plus that 18% minus 1 lakh, 65,200, right? So this was your one question on GST. This question, journalize the following transaction in the books of Miss Nidhi Traders for July 2022. Okay, so what we can do here is directly we can write here in the books of Masons Nidhi Traders, and this is 2022 and July. Third, sold goods for 50,000 charged CGST and SGST at 6% each. Okay. So now they have not given the name of party, cash, credit, nothing. So we have to assume it's a cash transaction. So cash and bank account debit. Cash and bank account debit. Now to sales account. Now my sales will be obviously 50,000 because I have sold it for 50. And now CGST, SGST on sales, it will be output GST, right? So to output SGST and to output CGST. So if I just calculate it 6%, it will be 50,000 into 6%. Here also it is 50,000 into 6%. So 3,000, 3,000. So this will be what? 56,000. Okay. Then fourth one, sold goods to Surjit. Okay. For 28,000, including SGST and CGST at 6%. Now this 28,000 includes this 6%, 6%, 12. So can I say this 28,000 is equal to 112? Imagine the cost of goods or the price is 100. On that 6% CGST, on that 6% SGST, 6, 6, 12. So the total price receivable from Surjit is what? 28. Okay. So we can write here, fourth one, Surjit account debit 28,000 because this is total 28, right? To sales account, to output SGST and to output CGST. You can write in any sequence. First SGST, then CGST or CGST, SGST. Now this is equal to 112. So can I write like this? If 112 is the total price including GST, 100 is the sales value. How much for 28? So 28,000 divided by 112 into 100, roughly 25,000. So it's 25,000. Okay. Then output GST will be how much? We have two methods of doing this. One, we can use it like this. For 112, output GST is 6 SGST. So for 28,000, how much? Or another method is, now I know my total sales value is 25,000. On that 6%, it will be, so 25,000 into 6%, 1,500. Or you can use that way also. Okay, so we sold goods to Surjit for 28, which includes my sales value of 25 and 1,500 of CGST, SGST, right? Now, fifth one, received 25,200 from Surjit in full and final settlement of his account of 28. Okay, so fifth one, cash and bank account debit. $25,200 discount allowed account debit. So it's 28,000 minus 25,200, roughly 2,800 to Surjit account. Full 28. Clear? What next? Sixth one, sold goods to couple, okay, for 30,000 and we are charging IGST at 12%. Okay, so IGST, okay, output IGST, received 12,000 immediately, but balance to be received after 1 month. So whatever we have received, cash or bank, whatever is recoverable, we'll charge to couple. So what can be the journal entry for this? Cash and bank account debit 12,000, right? They told 12,000. Okay. Kapil account debit. We can use balancing figure to sales. Now we have sold goods for 30,000 and to output IGST. Now that output IGST is at 12%, right? Yeah. So it will be 30,000 into 12%. So 3,600. So total from Kapil, I am supposed to receive 33,600, 30,000 for sales and 3,600 for output IGST. Okay. But out of that, he paid how much? 12. So here, balancing figure, 21,600. Okay. You can write here, this is a balancing figure. Okay. Or you can show the calculation. 10th one. Kapil was allowed a rebate of 5%. So kind of a discount. Okay. As goods supplied to him were defective. These goods were sold by charging IGST 12%. So Kapil told that, see, out of 30,000 rupees goods, 5,000 rupees goods are defective. Okay. Now, when the goods are defective, right, they will directly give you a credit for that. Okay. So here I'm supposed to give credit, a discount of 5,000 rupees, but not only 5,000. Kapil will tell that, sir, you also charge 12% GST. Okay. So what I will do, I will write entry, the date is 10th one. Okay, a rebate account debit. Why rebate? It's a loss for me. 5,000. Okay. Rebate account debit 5,000. Then output IGST account debit. That will be what? 5,000 into 12%. So 600. 2. Kapil account 5600 roughly. Right. So here Kapil told that, boss, some 1/6 of the goods are not usable. So what I will do, I said, okay, don't worry, don't pay 1/6 of the amount, right? So out of 33,600, don't pay 5600. But what I'm giving discount of 5600 is including GST. So I don't have to pay to government. Why? If government will tell, sir, you have sold goods to Kapil. Yes, but out of that sales return, you can say, or defective goods are there. I'm not charging him. Difference between sales return and rebate is what? See, sales return is you give the goods back and then I'm giving you credit for that. So for sales return, I'm not liable to pay that much amount of output GST which I have collected, or maybe let's say I have created in output GST. Now imagine that you are a customer, I am seller. Okay. Now today I'm sending you one particular let's say box. Okay, you have ordered a storage box from Amazon, or let's say from my website. So the box reached to you. I pass entry that Mr. A account debit 1,200 to sales 1,000 to output GST 200. Okay, 1,200. Correct. Now what happens in that? 1,000 and 200 I have credited. I have created a liability that 200 rupee I have to pay to government. You receive the box and then you realize that box is not up to the mark, right? And you have a 7 days return guarantee. So you called that, sir, I am returning the box, I do not like it. I said, no problem. So what entry I will pass? That sales return account debit, output GST account debit to what? The person account. I don't have to recover anything, and when government will ask, I'll tell them that no doubt I have sold goods to them, but I have received it back. So there is no such sale as such. Now here, when imagine that I have sold some edible items, say for example some ghee or oil, syrup, right? Or you can say some energy drink, and when you received it, you found some insect in that. Nowadays we have seen a lot of videos are coming where in edible items you get some kind of insects, right? Rat and all that. So now when you found it, you took a video and you send it to me. Said, don't worry, I don't want money for that, it's a rebate. Can you send it back? I don't, it's not usable, right? I cannot sell it to someone else. So when that kind of situation happens, we give a rebate. So here, why we are reversing this output IGST in rebate, that's what I'm saying, right? Because it's a, maybe let's say product where the sales return is not possible, it's a complete waste. That's why we are reversing it. Then 12. Sold goods to Manpreet for rupees 1 lakh. Trade discount 20% and charge IGST 12%. Sorry. So trade discount anyways we will not record. So 1 lakh minus 20. So goods sold is 80,000. So for me sales is 80,000. Okay. So 12. We write here Manpreet account debit. Manpreet account debit to sales. Now sales will be 80,000. How 80,000? If you want, I'll write for you. It's 1 lakh minus 20%. Right? It's a trade discount. And we are charging IGST 12%. So obviously net of trade discount we charge IGST. So to output IGST account. Now this will be what? 80,000 into 12%. So roughly 9,600. So from Manpreet, total amount receivable is 89,600, right? 80,000 into 12%. Yeah. Now, what Mr. Manpreet is saying, 13th, goods with the list price MRP 20 returned by Manpreet. Now already we are giving 20% discount on that. So 20,000 into 80%. So roughly 16,000. So we have to reverse, right? We have to pass entry for sales return of 16,000 plus output IGST. So 13. Sales return account debit. How much? It will be 20,000 minus 20%. So 16. And then output IGST account debit. It will be what? 16,000 into 12%. So 16,000 into 12%. 1920 to Manpreet. 17,920. Okay. And last, we have received commission of 15,000 and we have charged CGST, SGST 6%. Okay. So we'll pass entry here. Which date it is? 17th. Yeah. Cash and bank account debit. 2. Commission account. Now the commission is 15. Okay. 2. Output SGST 6%, so roughly 900. And 2. Output CGST in 900, so 1,600. Done. So this question, actually there are very least or rare chances of coming this question in exam. Okay, so 2-3 examples are there where we are going to just understand the treatment of trade discount and cash discount, but don't assume or expect this question as it is in your exam. Now record the following transaction in journal assuming CGST, SGST is 6%. Sold goods to Mukesh. The list price is 50 and trade discount 20. Now whenever we are dealing with trade discount and GST, first of all we need to reduce the trade discount and then we adjust GST. So here we don't know the name of party, so simply we'll write number 1, Mukesh account debit. 2, sales account, that will be 50,000 minus what? 50,000 minus 20%. So it's total 40,000. 2, output SGST account, which will be what? On 40,000 into 6%. So 2,400 and 2 output CGST account, same. So total 44,800. Okay. Now the second one, sold goods to Mukesh for list price of 1 lakh, 20% trade discount and 5% cash discount. Here, since we have taken this example for just understanding the discount cash discount impact, I'm assuming cash is paid. Okay. Otherwise, if the way the transaction is given, we can assume that cash is not paid, so we can ignore it. But just for the purpose of understanding treatment of cash discount, I'm taking it. Okay. So now this is very interesting. Cash and bank account debit. Okay. 2. And sorry, it's cash discount also there, no? So 2 discount allowed account debit. 2 sales account. Now sales account will be 80,000. 1 lakh minus 20%. Okay. 2 output SGST 6% and 2 output CGST 6%. Okay. Now, most important thing. What is the amount of discount that we will give? So please understand the discount will be on 80,000 into 5%. Okay. See, discount I will give from my money. Okay. I generally don't give discount on GST because this is something which is fixed. I have to pay. Okay. I have to pay to government. It's not my money. So if you need cash discount, I will give the amount on which my amount which I'm getting. This is again government money. On that I cannot bear the discount. So that's why we do it like this. So now it's 80,000%. So 89,600 minus 4,000. So that's why here the net amount will come 85,600. So this is one good adjustment that you should remember. And then sold goods to Mukesh, list price 1.5 lakh, 20% trade discount. Okay. Out of the amount due, 60% amount is received, out of which 3/4 is received by check. Okay. If I just calculate here, 1,50,000 minus 20%. So 150 minus 20%. So it's 1,20,000. Okay. In that, CGST and SGST 6%. So 7,200. 7,200. So the total amount here is 1,34,400. Okay. Now out of that, what they are saying? Out of that, we can say received and not received. Now in question what they said, received is how much? 60% amount is received. Okay. So here 40%. So into 60%. So the amount received is somewhere 80,640 and not received 53,760. Now out of this, what is received? In that also we have two bifurcation. Cash and check. That is bank. Now what they have told in question, sorry, here the question is, yeah, the question is here only now. Yeah, 3/4 is received by check. So here it's 3/4, here it is 1/4. So 80,640 into 3 by 4. So roughly some 60,480 is received and 20,160 is received in cash. 60,480 in bank. Okay, so if I just write this one, this I will debit to Mukesh account. So my journal entry will be third one. Mukesh account debit. What was the amount? 53760. Okay. Then cash account 2160. Cash account debit 20,160. Bank account 6480. Bank account debit 60,480. 2. Sales. Now sales will be what? 120. To sales account 1,20,000. And then here 2. Output SGST account and 2. Output CGST account. 7,200. 7,200. So if you just check in this type of question, it's advisable that you check the total. 53760 plus 20,160 plus 60,480. It's 134,400, right? So this is your small and interesting question on the trade discount, cash discount, and GST.